Now, Vic, last episode, I'll let you take up some of our valuable airtime to plug your new Rooting Kings program, and I can see you chomping at the bit to get stuck into it. So go ahead. What have you got for us?
Look, last week I laid out the problem for the listeners, and I mean the problem with them is, I think they're basically virgins. I mean, I don't think we've got, in our 10 or 15 odd listeners, I don't think there's any women there. I don't think it's likely that we're going to get any women
I
there.
hope not.
We'll exclude them if they come in. And I think
I'll get performance anxiety if we.
well, yeah. I mean, well, I won't because I don't, I don't
safe
have
space
that.
for me.
You will. I know. Well, it's it's a problem for you, not for me. I'm always brimming with confidence. But as I say, the problem for our listeners is there are a lot of NEETs and there's a lot of virgins. And last week I introduced the problem, and the problem is it's wanking. It's not getting women. It's losing. It's losing. And now what I want to do today is set out some techniques. Now, there's a lot of PUA techniques. I don't call myself a PUA. I'm more of a an Australian variant of that. And the acronym hasn't come out. I'm working on the acronym. The acronym will come with the. I'm an RK. I'm a Rooting King. That's one acronym that we're working on. But I mean, there's a number of techniques, and what I want to do today is go through a few techniques. Now, of course, I'm not going to give you I'm going to give you a bit of secret sauce, but I'm not going to give you the whole sauce, because the whole sauce, unfortunately, is behind the paywall. And the knowledge will come with the cash, and the cash needs to come from these NEETs. And I don't care where it comes. It can come from, your unemployment. It can come from mum's purse. It can come from wherever the hell you come from. But I mean, I need that money to fund my ventures, and it's behind the paywall. But what I can do today is give you a taste of the secret sauce, and it might help you. And I mean, you, my friend, might also pick up a bit. And I won't charge you more than.
Oh my! You can see my debit card's in my hand. I'm ready to go. Just point me.
I mean, look, I wasn't going to charge you. You're in such dire need. You're in such dire need that even I have a little bit of pity, and I'm willing to.
Special cases,
a charity case as they call them. So I mean, look, let's go through them. And as I say, this isn't the whole deal, but it's a little taster. It's a little taster. So I mean, the first technique for getting a woman, for getting, first you got to approach the woman, then you talk to the woman, and then the last step is the boudoir. So the first step is stop and shock. Stop and shock.
Stop and shock, right.
No, you haven't heard that. Okay. You haven't heard that before, and that's because it's a
notes.
Day game expression. It's used in day game. Now you might know what don't.
Right. I'm more of your night crawler, more of your night owl.
Well, there's day. Look, well, don't say that. That's not attractive. That's not attractive to our women listeners. So we may have one.
I'm learning already.
We may have one, but look, that's not attractive. Look there, but to lay it out for you, there's day game. There's night game, there's club game, at the club, at the nightclub, as the Yanks call it. And there might be, there's other variants. There's like your delicatessen game,
pub game,
swimming pool game, your RSL game, your pub game, playing
flick
pool.
The coaster.
Flicking the. Well, again, not attractive. Not attractive at all. But I mean, again, I think those mates rates for you are $0 at this point. But anyway, in any event, let's go back. It's stop and shock. Stop and shock, I should say. Sorry, stop and shock. And what you've got to do is you've got to stop a girl and you've got to grab her attention. Okay, because that's what works. You've got to grab her attention and start a conversation. Okay, so whatever works. All right, my tip to the listeners is whatever works. Okay, it might be. Look out! There's a bomb. Okay, take cover. And you grab her and roll out. Whatever you got to do.
Grab her.
Well, don't
lead her away. Start running.
Whatever you got to do. You look out. car coming, or rapist ahead, or whatever it is, okay? Pull your pants down, whatever you need to do to stop her and shock her, okay? You've got to make an impression, okay? And
Right.
you know the next step is the follow-up line.
But
okay?
don't start by asking, what do you Are you a Muslim? What do you reckon of Brussels?
No,
That's not a good stop and shock technique.
That'll get you charged under the Public Order Act. No. But I mean, the point is, you stop, you shock. Okay, that's it. Okay, it doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't matter. The next part is the follow-up line. Okay, that's key. That's key. The follow-up line's key because that'll get it to bed. Okay, that'll get it to bed. Unfortunately, I won't be able to give you the follow-up line today. That's behind the paywall. That's behind the paywall. But I mean, I've given you the stop and shock, so I've got you halfway there. That may get you arrested under the Public Order Act or whatever. But I mean, the follow-up line.
Depending on the follow-up line. That's
key. That's key. So that's stop and shock. Okay. All right. So you got that one. You got that. Got that in your notebook. So the next, and these aren't all techniques. Some of them are just mindsets. It's all about the minds. You've got to have the PUA or the RK mindset. I've got the mindset. You're getting there. You're taking the notes. You're not there yet, to be honest.
I can feel the psychic shift.
Well, you're getting there. You're getting there. You're still a bit trembling and you're nervous. Don't be calm. Be calm. But the next step, the next tip I've got for you is, it's called pre-selection. Okay, now what pre-selection? Now what you've got to do is, because the thing is, these chicks, they want the best. They want the best. They don't want the run-of-the-mill guy, like just sort of, you're sitting there with your mates and you're flipping coasters the way you do in the pubs or whatever, sort of fucking...
Oh, wait. So, you're not talking about a contested prime ministership here. You're not talking about pre-selection. This is something entirely different.
You're at a low base. You're at a low base, You might be low on...
Hang on a minute. I've got to go spray some Paco Rabanne cologne on my... Then I'll get back in the PUA mindset. So, pre-selection. What's running through the girl's mind as she's scrolling your Tinder account?
No, we're not on Tinder. You get off Tinder, okay? Tinder's not getting you.
Tinder?
No, Tinder's not getting you there. You got to front in person, okay? And that's where pre-selection comes in. Don't be average, okay? What you need to be. So there's two views on the pre-selection. The first thing is, whatever group you're in, you need to be the AMOG. Okay, now again, I'm throwing in the high level stuff for you. AMOG. Now AMOG is alpha male of the group. You need to be the alpha male. Okay, so all of the other blokes, you need to be above them. Okay, now look, there's a few ways of doing that. There's some. I mean, you can wear platform shoes. This has worked for me. So that lifts me up a little bit higher. I'm looking over them, look at me.
Jeb Bush style.
Well, yeah, exactly right. Jeb Bush learnt from that.
It didn't work out well for him, though.
He got his quad, and it worked. It worked for his quad.
You're right. He got Columba.
And then again,
that's probably the best he could hope for.
Trumpy, probably worked better. Probably no platforms work pretty good for Trump. But in any event, I mean, I'm trying to help your virgin. So for your virgin, you need to be the AMOG, and there's a couple of ways to do it. One is, you can be subtle about it. So you might whisper in the girl's ear and go something like, all these other blokes, they've got AIDS, or they're all virgins. They're all virgins except me. I've rooted plenty. Okay, something like that, and that'll make her realise that you're the number one. You're the king monkey. Okay, but
it seems to me as if there might be a bit of a hitch in this plan. So I mean, you're gathering all of these virgin NEETs around you in your Rooting Kings program. You're sort of the alpha male.
Wow.
You're the messiah with these virgin NEETs around you. Are you just fooling everyone into coalescing around you so you can get all the roots?
I mean, in a cynical way like that, you might think that the only reason I hang around with you is, to make myself look better. It's like the Alan Bond diet. You hang around with a bunch of fat blokes and that makes you look skinnier. But no, I mean, far from it. I'm out here to help, and I'm out here to make a living, to be honest. And I mean, I'll go back to my lesson. I mean, I appreciate your interruption, and in some ways, and in other ways, I don't appreciate it. But in any event, you can be subtle. The whispers in the ears. Or you can be more direct. And I mean, sometimes you can just say something like, you're in a group with a bunch of blokes, there's a chick around, and you just go, bloke with the biggest cock, stand up now, and you just jump up. You just jump up. And if you're first up,
is that the stock and shot?
No, well,
is it stop and shot.
Stop and shot. Well, it's a combination. It's a combination. But it'll work for you. I mean, it'll work for you. If you're with a bunch of slow guys, you got to obviously be up on the uptake. You're quick, and you just jump up. There you go. Whatever it is, pre-select. Okay, so that's the first thing. I mean, be the alpha.
The fatties surrounding you, they're not going to be able to get up in time. You're already halfway up as you're speaking.
Mates, yeah.
You're ahead.
Fat mates. Yeah, sure. I mean, and you're looking.
And they've got AIDS as well. So.
Right. I mean.
Not the quickest movers, are they?
They're sickly. But I mean, or the other way is to work, with the group and just be with the high status group. Okay, be with this high status group, and all that means is that you hang around with winners. Okay, and that can mean millionaires, your movie stars. In a Latin American country, could mean the general. Hang around with the colonels and the generals. The uniform types. Right. Okay, and
so this is tying in with last episode with the Mardi Gras. Malcolm Turnbull's out there. He's got that loser Bill Shorten next to him, sort of amogging all over Billy Boy, and all the other poofters there. They're cluing in on that vibe, his alpha male vibe that he's putting out. And then I saw Malcolm Turnbull stop and shocking a few of the guys there.
I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting point. How would you stop and shock somebody at the Mardi Gras to take a lot of shocking? They take a lot of shocking, those blokes. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Malcolm would have.
Maybe wear a shirt.
Maybe I don't know what Malcolm's got in his lawyer's briefcase to shock some blokes, but it'd be interesting
to shock the Mardi Gras.
It'd be very. Very interesting. So there's your pre-selection and your AMOG. Okay, so there's an acronym. Look, in every episode, I'm going to give you an acronym. Okay, that's my promise to you. That's the RK promise. That's the guarantee. You'll get an acronym. You can use it with your friends, and they'll be impressed. They'll be impressed. So I mean, you got that. Now, the next one is the opener. Okay, the opener. We had the stop and shop, but there's also the opener. That's not the follow-up line, of course, but it's
the leg opener.
Well, hopefully that's the idea. That's where
fingers crossed.
That's where the money to get behind the paywall. I don't guarantee, but I do. I mean, I don't legally guarantee, but I do guarantee. I do guarantee you'll get a route. Okay, but now, I don't.
This vernacular, this highly valuable vernacular that you're gifting us all. Is this? Do we want to be using these words around the girls, or is this something?
Mate. It's a secret.
It seems you can't be letting your mates know that you're pre-selecting them, can you? Or can you?
Look. The other thing about the stuff that I'm telling you is, it's not well known. I mean, you can, and it's not to be used outside of PUA circles. Okay, and I warn you about that, and I tell you about that because. I'll say to you, these phrases, these acronyms are not to be used outside PUA circles. Okay, you can Google these. You can Google these.
The initiated, the trusted.
Indeed, the covenant. I mean, you can Google these.
Kings.
You can Google these phrases, and they won't turn up. I mean, they won't be on the internet. They're not there. They're a blank. Okay, and the reason they're a blank is because we all. In the PUA and the RK circles, we take the vow, and the vow is of secrecy. It's not a celibacy. It's not a celibacy. It's the opposite of celibacy. I'm not sure what that state of mind is, but
promiscuity.
Well, a bit more than that. I mean, it's a lot more than that, and I guarantee that. I mean, I don't legally guarantee, but I do guarantee in a manner of speaking.
In a wink and a nudge way.
Well, you may say. So you've got your direct opener. Your direct opener is just your start up, and it's just want to fuck. Want to fuck. I love you.
Want to root?
Come over here, whatever it might be. And that's an easy one. I mean, look, I'm just tossing those.
How many kids do you want?
Yeah, how many kids have you got? Single mum, like, come over here and I'll look after them for you. No, I won't. I don't guarantee that, or I do guarantee that sort of thing. I mean,
how much? $50.
$50. I can sort of, yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, that's the direct opener. And I mean, look, I've got better direct openers. Look, I'm just throwing these off. That's easy stuff. But the good direct openers, they're behind the paywall. They're behind, and that'll come. The indirect opener, then you've got your indirect opener, which is for your subtle guy, like your European, your Tasmanian, your Kiwi, whatever it might be.
Your older
man, your more subtle man. And it might be, it's not you want to fuck. It's more like something like, where do you happen to live? And she might give you an address, and you go coincidence. By coincidence, I happen to live next door to you. How would that be? And then you may walk home with her, and then a subtle ruse at the end. You might hide behind a.
Oh shit! I haven't got the keys.
That's good. That's
Locked
good.
Out.
You're a promising student. That's all. I was hide behind the garbage bin or whatever it might be.
Let's just follow some of the Australian heroes just as an analogy. So, your Rolf Harris, is he going to go the direct route or the indirect route? That would be the benchmark for me. Which way is Rolfie going?
Well, that's interesting. I mean, look, he used a lot of techniques on the young ladies. I mean, look,
a lot of stop and shock.
A lot of Keno. We'll get to Keno later. A lot of Keno techniques.
Keno
is kinesthetics, and that's the grab.
The thing he had,
the uncultivated guy would call it a grab, and
the metal sheet,
the wobble board. I mean, you lost your Australian card there, but yeah, I mean the wobble board. I mean, that's more your sort of your primitive mating, sort of thing. And I want to go into that. I mean, the thing is, I would warn the listeners not to follow, the example of Harris, who,
I mean, I've seen his pickup, or he called it the pickup underage, but your PUA guide from Rolfie, and I got about halfway through it. I got to the tie your kangaroo down section, and I just thought, this is too much. It's too much.
Look, I'd warn you against. You've obviously read some of his works. I warn you against those methods because Rolf, has ended up in jail. And I don't want any of the listeners in jail.
I mean, his pre-selection was sort of less discrimination about who he was hanging around, and he was a bit more choosy in his target.
His pre-selection was selecting the under.
The pre-selection was of the
under
target.
15s, yeah. So that's that's your indirect opener. Might be where do you live? I live next door, or where do you work? Starburst? Where do you work? I've got I've got a job there. I'm starting on Monday. Today's Saturday. Let's get some rooting done in Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday.
So it won't be awkward when we meet.
It won't be. You'll be my secretary at that point. But anyway, I mean, I'll move on. Then we have the assumption building. Okay, now assumption building is, it's hooking her interest and building attraction within a conversation. Okay, and the problem with these guys, with most guys, is that they ask too many questions. They're like, hi, how are you? Where are you from? What's your favourite sport? What do you like to do on the weekend? Who's your favourite pop singer? This shit's not going to work. Okay, it's not going to work. You've got to make the assumptions and make the assumptions fit. Okay, I mean, if you say to a chick like, you're from Sweden, right? And she happens to be from Sweden, then bang, you're in. You may have a root with a nice big, Swedish 6-footer at that point, which is
Muslim.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, they're
Muslim Swede.
They vary now. That's good. I mean, look, multiculturalism. We need to counter signal from the main program because multiculturalism for the rooting king is a win. It's a pure win because it just expands the.
You can get it. It's great, isn't it, now? Because you can get it some Burka Bush no matter what country they're coming from.
It's all available. I mean, in the old days, you had to get on your ancient sailing boat and sail around the world to route the type of variety that you can just get in any suburban street in Sydney now. You'll get a Cambodian girl, a Japanese girl, a Vietnamese girl.
Yeah, you don't have to go to Timbuktu. It's just Western Sydney.
Vietnamese girl, then another Vietnamese girl, then anyway. I mean, you get the idea, but you're assumption building. You're assumption building. Now, I mean, there's some easy assumptions to make. If you meet a girl at a bus stop, you just simply say, "Are you getting the bus today?" And that's a nice one. I mean, if you see a girl walking a dog, you'll just say something like,
well,
"How's the dog?"
I mean, this almost sounds. It almost sounds a little bit special, doesn't it? Like generally, if I'm waiting at a bus stop and someone walks up to me and says, "You're getting the bus today," I'm gonna know that they're a bit touched, aren't they? They're a bit wobbly of mind.
I mean, look, it's not often that the pupil corrects the master. I mean, you've taken it upon yourself to criticise some of the points that I'm making to you. I mean, look,
You're right. I should try it before I knock it.
Don't try before you buy. I mean, buy now. Buy now, listeners, buy now. But I mean, I'm just telling you, and it's a voice of experience that assumption building, as I understand it, and as I practice the art, it's worked for me. But I mean, look,
So may I just ask? May I inquire, Vic? Yeah. Are you putting forward that it's sort of a contextual thing? So depending where you are, if you're at the Mardi Gras, you might say, "You've got HIV, haven't you?" Rather than saying, "What's your HIV status?"
You're back to that Mardi Gras. I've got to wonder why.
Well, it sticks with you, doesn't it?
Why you keep going back there? And I mean, look, that's a different game. That's a different game from the game that I'm talking about. Women, you're talking about another situation entirely. And
men dressed as
women,
okay.
Men who think they're women, men who have no interest.
So let's say you're at church.
Women.
You're at church.
Yeah. Now we're getting to a factual. Yeah.
You're at church. What are you going to ask? You're going to say, you're a fan of Fred Niles?
No, you're going to say, no, look, you get it wrong. I mean, in church, maybe the assumption, Bill, obviously you say, are you a Christian? Do you believe in Jesus Christ? You're going to say, but
you're a virgin.
Well, that's not going to help you. That's not going to help you. I mean, you start with the assumption, Bill, there may be a stop and shock.
Drop a Timmy Minchin quote in the church, and that'll be a bit of a stop and shock.
It's a high level. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can do that. That'd be a direct opener. I suppose we could categorise that as a direct opener, and it may work for you. I mean, it's interesting. You got some ideas. Okay. You got some ideas, and I like that.
I think I'm with you now. I'm with you now. Okay.
You're getting away from Mardi Gras, which is good. That's good. So we get to keno escalation, kinesthetics, okay, and there's a science to that, and that's behind the paywall, the secret touch, the rubbing, okay, and I can tell you that, and that'll work for you most times, okay.
But I thought weren't we stopping masturbating, or?
Well, again, you're back at Mardi Gras, aren't you? You're back at Mardi Gras, the secret touch. I mean, that's more. That's more your beat off kings type of program. And I'm not offering that. That's the ladies will be giving you some secret touches. But at this point, I'm talking about keno escalation, and what that means is, once you're talking to, it's no good talking. Okay, you're all talk. I can see from the way you conduct yourself. Now you're all talk. There's no action. There has to be action. It needs to go hand in hand. Okay, now, as I say, the special sauce is behind the paywall, and that's the rubbing and the tugging, and the rubbing and the brushing and that sort of thing. Okay, but the important thing is you've got to initiate keno. Okay, and I had the 3-second rule, and that means that within 3 seconds of talking to a woman, you need to touch her. Now, where your touch is up to you, how confident you feel. And I mean, you as a novice, you probably want to stay above the waist, and probably below the shoulder. Maybe a brush on the arm.
So you sort of grab their hair.
A brush on the shoulder. this sort of
Brush on
thing.
the
But I mean,
shoulder.
if you're
Okay.
feeling confident and you're a high level guy like myself, then you might even grab it. I mean, grab it right then and put your hand right on it and just go. This is mine. This is a done deal, and that's it. And that's a high escalation. That's a fucking nuclear escalation. I've done it. I don't recommend that to the novice, and I don't recommend that to the NEETs. But I mean,
Yep. When the mood is right, when the musk is there,
mating season. Mating season.
She's in heat.
Indeed. And I've done it. I mean, look,
Right.
I don't have the video. I had that on tape. But my tapes got lost in the flood last year we had.
Well, the police confiscated it, didn't they? I mean,
Well, again, you're back at Mardi Gras. You're failing. You're failing at this point. Just you more listen and less interruption would be helpful. Would be helpful to me. So then you've got and it's a mindset. Okay, this is more a mindset thing. And the mindset is qualification. Okay, qualification is that you gotta pre-qualify yourself out of the girl. Like these girls, they're always, particularly the hot girls, which is where I'm getting you to. I'm getting you to the 9s and the 10s. I'm there. I'm at the 9s and the 10s. Out of 10, that is, not out of 20. Don't be cynical. The 9 and 10's out of 10. I'm getting you there. And I mean, these girls are getting approached by guys all the time. Oh, I love you. Oh, I want to be with you. And that's a dud. That's not going to get you that girl. What you need to be saying to these girls is, you need to be, I wouldn't necessarily be spitting on them, but that's where you need to be roughly. Okay. You need to be
right.
You need to be counter signaling against these girls, okay? And I mean, I'm not that into you. I mean, then there's a low level, okay? The low level is nice legs, shame about the face, okay? Like a bit of praise, but then on the other hand,
The backhanded
compliment. You've got it. And that's at the low level.
But so if you combine it with the keno, is it just you go straight for the backhand?
Well, that's right. I mean, that's you're learning. I mean, yeah, at the high level, it can start with just abuse. Fuck off, you ugly cow. Fuck you. I don't need you. Punching, kicking, whatever it might be. This is negging. This is the art of negging, and if I haven't explained it well because it's behind the paywall. It's behind the paywall, but the art of the neg is the art of the PUA, and it's the art of the RK.
I mean, it seems as if you were to combine the pre-selection with the keno and what you're saying. Are you sort of advocating that we form a sort of gang and go around touching women? Because I think some of the Europeans may be a bit ahead of us there. They might have, well, not the Europeans, but the new Europeans might have beat you to it.
I take my wisdom where I find it, and I watch, your Dresden videos or whatever. And I find a lot in that. Cologne, Dresden, it's all over. Rochester, Oxford, Rotherham, it's all over, and there's a lot of video there, and it's I take it where I find it, and
taking notes,
I mean there's a lot to be found in that with your whirling, twirling rape gangs, but I don't advocate that.
Yeah. I mean, we've always sort of taken inspiration from Europe, deferred to them when it comes to the lovey-dovey stuff, haven't we? It used to be that you'd sort of look at France and you'd say, "There's your romance. That's what the women want." Now you've got this new France, and I guess you just got to go with the times, haven't you? So
You got it.
seems that you program some cutting edge stuff. I mean, is there anything
you
else?
got it. Look, I mean, we took advice from the French, and now we take advice from the new French. But I mean, I'll finish with the art of the neg, because I think the art of the neg is key. Okay, and it can be a backhanded compliment. It can be it can be a pure insult. It can be physical. If that's called for. I mean, whatever it is. Because you can't put that pussy on a pedestal. Okay, you put it on a pedestal. If you're a short man, you're not going to be able to get up there and get that. So, I mean,
if you elect the pussy to chancellor, next thing you know, your country will be fucked. Or prime minister pussy it just doesn't work. You can't put them up on that pedestal. They have to be down in the gutter.
Down in the gutter where they should be. And look,
Beaten.
And that's the art of the neg. I mean, so look, I think we've run through a few things today.
I mean, can this program, just to try and spruik it a bit more? I mean, I think you've come here to advertise this program, and I think you've let yourself down a little bit there. But just to spruik it a bit, could this be applied outside the field of romance?
Oh, yeah.
Could this be
that's
beneficial?
That's it. I mean, you've got to the crux of it. I mean, your PUA techniques, these are universal laws of human interactions. Okay, and you can use these, in any situations. Okay, you can, for example, you can do a pre-selection on your friends. You can neg a bus driver. You can stop and shop your dog. Okay, I mean, it all works.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to see it, aren't I? I mean, you look around, you've got like prime ministers just surrounding themselves in a cabinet full of idiots, just to try to elevate themselves a little bit. Or you might be running a radio show and just negging your loyal companion.
I mean, look, it's subtle. It's very subtle, and I mean, I see some of that in Malcolm Turnbull. He's certainly, demoting anybody who could be a threat to him. As far as the other thing you say, I didn't quite follow that, but I mean, I'm sure I will, and I'm sure it's behind. As I say, all the secrets are behind the paywall. I can talk for free all day, but I mean, the time comes when an investment needs to be made. Okay, and I'll ask.
You got to put your money with them. Money with your mouth.
Indeed, and at some point a lady might help you out with her mouth. And I don't guarantee that, but it it will happen, and I do promise that, but I don't. But
Well, you've sold me on it. I'm going to go around and I've already recommended to all my friends, married or not.
Bring these nerds.
And,
bring these nerds on. Bring these nerds on. Bring them into Rooting Kings.
Yep.
Bring them into Rooting Kings. The link will go up on the site, and I look forward to your business. And next week, there'll be some more tips, and I'll loosen the kimono a little bit and show you a little bit more of the secret sauce from behind the paywall.